Hey everybody, welcome back to another stream. Today we're here doing part 8. So part 7 was the finale of the story playthrough, and part 8 today is going to be a bonus for Ratchet and Clank 2, as we're going to tour and explore the Insomniac Museum. Now before we get into the game, one of the things I wanted to do was actually relevant to how we actually access the Insomniac Museum. This is definitely the classic way that people used to do back in the day. So to explain to chat, in order to visit the Insomniac Museum, you have to find a secret teleporter and visit between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. I believe it is. I think that's how it worked. But more often than not, rather than actually going there at 3 a.m. Itself, you know, and staying up late and annoying your parents and that kind of stuff, people would just change their PS2 clock. So this is actually an hour behind because of daylight savings for me at the time I record this, but we're going to change this from PM to AM basically, which we might have to do military time, but it's AM, so I shouldn't. So I'm just going to move on over, something like that. If it lets me change it. There we go. So 2:50 AM ought to do it. We'll head back on out and we'll be booting up the game. We're using the real hardware, of course. It's the aim here over at the stream. Canine uses the real stuff where possible. Alright. So just while that loads, we'll just showcase data's just here, what we finished off yesterday. It probably won't show the progress, but in the previous part we beat the game. And then we time warped so that we can go visit the museum correctly without having to worry about losing any progress or anything. So we have beaten the game, but surely enough we'll still have access to the museum, and I can show you guys how to get there and what's in store once we are there. Very exciting. If you've been there before, then this is all going to be just a walk down memory lane for you. And if you haven't been, well, you're going to learn a bit more about the Ratchet Clank universe and what work went into both the first game and the second game. So whether you be watching this on YouTube or Twitch, I greatly thank you all for being here. It means so much. So let's enjoy it, shall we? Such an amazing classic from 2003. Oh, here he is playing the first game. Alright, we're going to load up our save file, which is at the prototype factory because we did beat the game, but we time warped. So once we land there, we're actually going to have to fly to the actual planet where the museum is located. And I'll show chat how to do this. Even Yeedle's design is just so ominous. I didn't comment on it last stream, but definitely arriving here, you get such great vibes. I don't know, just for the sake of it. This is one of the few scenarios you're gonna have so many teleporters in one place, actually. This one goes to the HQ, this one goes to the lab. But we're not going to go to either place, because we've already beaten the game. So, in case chat didn't know, we are going to be heading back to Planet Bolden. I did say Planet Bolden had a lot going on there, so we're going to fly there. And our quest to find the Insomniac Museum begins. we've now arrived back at Planet Bolden. Ah yes, the box breaker and armor magnetizer is quite a nice combination. Now, we have no ammunition left from the mutant protopet battle. That's okay. We're just gonna speed on through and I'll show you guys where to go. It's very explosive here. Alright, so this side room that we avoided last time just because we didn't want to waste ammunition and all that, we're gonna clear this room. Now, if you guys remember correctly, I jumped on this fountain and I mentioned there was something more to this. This fountain actually is a teleporter, although we might be a little bit early. Yeah, I think we're a little bit early by the game standards. At any rate, I'll probably still come back. Oh, there's the timer. You guys hear the clock striking? Here we go. We've now teleported to the Insomniac Museum. We're not quite there yet though. We're just in the lobby room. So we have to fight past these enemies. They do spawn in a few thugs I have forgotten, but... Ah, dang. Did I miss the chance? Did I miss the chance? I don't know if we missed the chance, chat. It's a pretty slim window once the time passes, but yeah. We have shown the method, so if we're not able to teleport there anymore, it's a pretty slim window. There we go. I still haven't passed too much time, thankfully. Let's not mess around, let's just get there safely. Alright, and off we go. Dantopia. I love that they named it Dantopia. For reference chat, that is a reference to one of the Insomniac Games members that was very valued at the team. His name was Dan Johnson. But yeah, he was referenced a lot. Oh hey Fernie, welcome! Yeah, we're doing a little bonus part for my Ratchet Clank 2 stream. We beat the game last stream, which would have been yesterday. And I'm doing the Insomniac Museum tour today. I love that museum is just kind of loosely sketched there. But we've made it here, so I'm going to tour around and look at all the random things they have.
Hello, my name is Brian Allgeier, the design director at Insomniac Games. These floating spherical monstrosities are the elusive gravity spheres, which were originally going to be included in Silver City. They proved to be too difficult, and a bit nauseating, to be included. They are preserved here for posterity. Swing shot up to try running around one, and then swing shot again to get off the sphere.
Yeah, so I did reference these to chat actually while we were playing through the game. These were originally going to be in the Planet Bolden level, but as he mentioned, they were absolutely nauseating. Even trying them out here, they're quite bad. This is actually the intro one, by the way.
This is Mike Stout. I'm a designer at Insomniac Games. Hi, welcome to the Insomniac Museum. Here you'll see some of the great things that never quite made it into the game, and you'll learn a little bit about life here at Insomniac Games.
That's Mike Stout. As someone in chat pointed out yesterday, Mike Stout invented the tractor beam weapon, or gadget actually. He invented the tractor beam gadget, which was this one here.
Hi there, my name's Tim Trespass. I'm a gameplay programmer here at Insomniac Games. I'm a Leo from Washington, D.C. I like anime and shiny objects. This car was originally going to be included in the battle with the giant robot on Snivlac. Unfortunately, its lack of heavy weaponry proved its bane. It now calls the Insomniac Museum its home.
Yeah, another thing I mentioned to chat, a lot of different methods were... a lot of different methods of boss battle were going to be a thing. They had a few different vehicles in mind. This was one of the vehicles in mind for that boss fight. But they ended up, oh yeah, you hover down like that. It has hover zones similar to the Jack games. I actually forgot. I can't remember if this one can fire or not. It also has a very primitive, primitive HUD. There's all these different rooms with different things. I'm pretty sure this one just shows you how they worked on the physics and stuff. So you just got a thug here just chilling out, just shooting that guy. Yeah, this is pretty cool. You could mess around with this stuff and actually create different effects with the enemy fire and stuff like that. Cool that they included that.
Hi, my name is Tony Garcia and I'm a programmer at Insomniac Games. This little demonstration allows you to create your own shot effect. Using the magic of debug technology, you can edit the shot's size and color, and then watch the bandit shoot it at the blockman. Don't feel too sorry for the blockman though, he's evil.
He's evil blockman. And then here's another one that you can edit for like explosion effects and stuff, which they use a lot in these games.
Tony Garcia here. This wonder of an explosion was created especially for Ratchet Clank 2. Its extreme versatility allowed it to creep into many different places in the game. You'll even see it in the electrolyzer puzzles. Stand on the blue pad to make your own explosions.
So basically they let you edit like RGB and gamma and stuff like that. So you can like edit the scale if you want to make it bigger and smaller. We'll add more moon rocks, I guess. Reduce the molten. And maybe lower the redness. Just to make it something different. There's a fair bit of red in it already. Yeah, I am Fernie, actually. It's one of those things that, it's one of those things I don't share unless people ask. But yeah, I am. There we go, we made the explosion a different colour. Shell, distortion, shake camera, maybe not shake camera. But yeah, you can mess around with it and do different things, it's pretty cool. No, it's fine, Fernie. It's just, you know, more often than not I get mistaken.
Stockton, and I'm a designer here at Insomniac Games. You may recognize this drill from Ratchet Clank 1. It was held by a large construction worker who gives you a lump of raritanium. This is originally a weapon called the Revolverator. Ratchet would strike enemies with it and then spin them over his head.
Yep, I mentioned this during my playthrough of Ratchet Clank 1. This was going to be a weapon cut from the game, and then, well, it was cut from the game, that's what I meant to say, but, they still added the asset into the final game, but it was just used as just a generic drill by one of the workers. The worker was, drilling raritanium, and Ratchet repairs his drill, and you get the piece of raritanium from him, which is pretty cool. So they still were able to reference it. And this would have been an interesting boss, I think.
It's Tim. This monstrosity was intended to be a boss battle fought on the jet ski gadget. Seeing as the jet ski never made it in Ratchet and Clank, however, neither did this boss. May he rest in pieces.
That's the part I'm still curious about, is they mention having some kind of a jet ski weapon or vehicle, and they don't really show too much of it.
Hi, my name is Sean Whistler, and I'm a tester here at Insomniac Games. This guy was originally intended to be an enemy in the ill-fated jet ski level that never made it into Ratchet and Clank 1. A moment of silence, please, for this gentle giant, torn down in his prime.
I guess they ended up cutting that level because we had Poketaro instead. So that's my guess, isn't any? You didn't really need a jet ski level when you already had a beach level. Doesn't make the most sense. Oh, so without even clicking on this message, this was meant to be an early vendor prototype. So you would have actually had the vendor guy sit here. I'm pretty sure that's what he talks about.
Greetings, this is Oliver Wade, the animation director at Insomniac Games, doing an atrocious British accent. This is the original Gadgetron vendor from Ratchet & Clank 1. The official reason it was cut had something to do with saving memory. The real reason has a lot to do with squirrels, hacksaws, and our lawyers. I can say no more, because I am no longer able to do this accent.
Funny thing about that, guys, they do reference squirrels with hacksaws a lot. Again, the squirrels were a cut enemy. I'm pretty sure what he was mentioning about saving memory is that the enemies were just too broken, and it was just easy to just cut them all together. Although they've repurposed the squirrel idea in this game by having mutant squirrels on the Tadano level. But yeah, I imagine trying to run this with all the squirrels attacking you probably didn't do too well to the game's you know, overall memory usage. Is my guess. This room's kind of empty. Oh, but yeah, it's this room. You get to test out the water effects for the game. See, this is what I mean. It's a PS2 game, but it had such amazing water effects. They really messed around with the engine.
Hi, I'm Leslie Matheson. I'm a designer here at Insomniac Games. This was intended to be the water system for Ratchet & Clank. However, as even this little patch of water taxes the game engine to its limits, a modified and severely optimized form was what eventually made it into the game. To see this patch in action, press circle.
That's just insane. They would have had this in the original Ratchet & Clank. Blop. Blop. Yeah, and you can freeze the frame if you wanna. Blop. That's so cool. I do love this whole game design stuff, so to experience this for the first time as a kid was absolutely amazing because it made me love Insomniac games even more, and it made me just really inspired to know that maybe my love for art could take me somewhere. Hopefully someday.
Hey, it's Tim. This car was
Oh yeah, that was the car that we drove before. Oh yeah, we haven't looked at this section yet.
Sean here. Don't worry, Ratchet. You wouldn't have had to fight this monster even if he did make it into the game. This giant bug ship was intended to act as scenery only, flying from place to place to ensure high detail on buildings, while leaving the play area open.
Yeah, it's a cut scenery enemy. Just would have flown around. It would have been cool to see. Alright, we've been here. Try to figure out where we haven't been. Yep, and that's where the water stuff was. This place is multi-level, so it's a little bit of a maze. It's loosely modeled off their actual office, which is in Burbank, California. And here's a little block man. I think this was another physics test or some sort.
Hello, this is Pedro Hastinas. I'm a gameplay programmer at Insomniac Games. This dummy was created to test the new reaction system which we added to Ratchet & Clank 2. With this system, enemies would always be sure to react appropriately to being damaged without a ton of hassle. Go ahead and hit him. He won't mind.
Bang. Get that play around with the knockback physics. They really did improve the knockback. And we got another like prototype vehicle here. Didn't make it anywhere. They're very floaty. Just for anyone who's curious in chat, these vehicles are very floaty. But they might help me get around it. Is that above me on the roof? It's just a weird pipe. Oh, okay.
This was created to test screen buffer effects. Screen buffer effects are used to create things like distortion bubbles and heat hazing. This, however, ends up looking like a hall of mirrors. Can you guess why?
I think, yeah, I think that's something to do with, you know how he says with bubbles and stuff, they would be reflective, so I guess they would create a wall of mirrors. Yeah, so this area where we haven't tapped into yet. This is another one where you can edit the effects and stuff. This is actually a fire effect from the previous game, but they let you edit it so you can create like other effects, which is pretty cool. So you could really spend a lot of time here just messing around with the debugging, if that's what you're into. Pretty cool. This looks like another cut enemy.
Corey here. This monstrous robotic squid was created for one of the Ratchet & Clank 2 prototype levels. Since that level never made it into the finished game, however, neither did poor Squiddy.
Aw, poor Squiddy. I like Squiddy. We have another cut vehicle here, they just scattered them around. It always made me laugh that when Ratchet sits in this one, he's in his weapon animation, but I guess that's how they got it to work. So there's no sounds that have been programmed into this, but this one can actually fire unlike the others. This one kind of operates similarly to the Veritanium Digger. Honestly, it feels like it runs like that one.
Mike Stout here. Have you ever wanted to create your own infiltrator puzzle? Well, now you can. Just stand on the blue pad and play around with the values a bit. Confound your friends and amaze your enemies.
This is actually pretty great. You could jump on and just, you know, make a puzzle. At the moment, it's like, you know, stock or whatever. I wonder if it actually has a test puzzle already on it. It looks like it does, but yeah, it won't open anything, I don't think. It's just, there was an electrolyzer puzzle that we passed before though, and that one will open something. Alright, I think we broke the game. Alright. We've hit a snag, chat. Oh, never mind. It loaded me on Dantopia, Insomniac Museum. Okay, so we're actually just safe to do that then. But I'll explain the other method in due time. I'll actually be able to do that. That's not a problem. I guess it's another reason why that vehicle is cut. It's absolutely buggy and unfinished. Let's just head on over to that electrolyzer puzzle. We're gonna do it. There are a lot of lights here. Oh. Okay. There's a lot of lights going on here. A lot more than the usual puzzles, to be honest. Okay. Too early, I flipped too early. Again, I flipped too early. I saw it there. Okay. Oh, the last one. Rip. Okay. Too quick, too quick, too quick. Alright. We got this, chat. This one's doable. It's pretty hard, but it's doable. The next room does have some more interactive stuff for us to do, so it's worth opening this puzzle door up. You know, they hid some of their more interactive content behind here. Oh, just did it. Sweet. Thanks for opening up. And we got this ginormous thing.
Hello, this is Pedro Hastinas. I am a gameplay programmer at Insomniac Games. These teleporters were originally intended to go into several of the levels. Due to time constraints, however, they were eventually cut.
Yeah, these teleporters, it's definitely not finished, but they were just meant to be like a slightly different variant of the final ones used, but I'm honestly glad they didn't use them and they just kept with the original aesthetic from the previous game. Because yeah, this one just has like, it's interesting what they're trying to do, but it's like a longer animation and everything, and I can picture that it would have just been a bit annoying for some.
Hello, my name is Brian Allgeier, the design director at Insomniac Games. These escalating rows of blocks were used when we were in the early stages of creating Ratchet & Clank 1. They were used to test Ratchet's jump heights and jump distances to see which would be the most fun.
Yeah, and not gonna lie, they were pretty fun. More often than not, my brother and I would run these tests to try and see how high we could get. And I'm pretty sure this room would be great for testing purposes for anyone who does like skips and speed runs and stuff like that. People probably use this as a tool or something.
Brian Allgeier here. These walls, which range from narrow to wide, were used to test wall kick distances for the original Ratchet & Clank.
For those jump slots, yeah, true. So just to show what he's talking about. You test the jump distances between them. And then this one's not as narrow. And then I think the next one is more or less the distance we got for most of the jump slots in the game, aside from the secret one, which were much further spaced apart. Yep, like so. And I think possibly even this is doable, but you gotta really time it. Definitely way better wall jump slots than size matters in my opinion. But I've actually definitely messed around with this room a lot, just trying to test just like your jumping and flying and stuff like that. It's a very primitive little teleporter, but you know, you can definitely sink time into that. It's good fun. I definitely would spend hours here at the museum. I'm just trying to do a little bit of a tour to show chat around in case you never knew about this or just need a little bit of a refresher, go down memory lane and all that. Learn a bit more about Insomniac Games and just this series that I enjoy so much.
Hello, I'm Carl Grande, QA manager here at Insomniac Games. This gadget was originally intended for Ratchet & Clank 1. Unfortunately, it didn't make the cut, and so never saw the light of day. It now makes its home here at Insomniac Museum, gone but not forgotten.
This was intended to be a gadget? It looks more like an actual vehicle. I mean, I can kind of envision what they might have done with it, but, you know, it makes sense why it was cut. Oh, yeah.
This little widget was used to test our new chunk system. We lovingly call it the corn system. Notice how all the breakables in this game are much prettier? Well, that's corn working hard for you. Give it a whack and see what it does.
That is very true. unicorns do seem pretty fascinating. It's got great physics, see what I mean? Like, even though the first game was great, the second game really improved on their physics with this kind of stuff. And overall, like you said, just the game got a whole lot prettier. Got a robot here.
This is Mike Stout. I'm a designer at Insomniac Games. Fear the random robot NPC. This robot never made it into Ratchet and Clank 1 because of the fabled Day of Poultry, when chickens swarmed over our offices and pecked the computer, holding this mechanical darling to pieces. We were able to retrieve her eventually, though.
Right. And I suppose sometimes data issues do happen. But nonetheless, it's cool. We've been here. The layout definitely makes it kind of confusing to get around, just to, because it's very easy to miss things, but I think that's probably part of the fun, is you'd be constantly trying to check what you're missing. And this won't be the last time that you ever get to do a museum tour in this series. Insomniac Games definitely were fans of giving players the opportunity to look into what it is that they do and stuff, which is pretty cool. So this won't necessarily be the longest part ever, but I just wanted to do a bonus and show off what's here. Because if this was your first time playing, you wouldn't even know about this secret planet. I don't know if I've been down here yet. Okay, this takes me over here. And this is where we start, so we might go over here this time. Water effects were? Okay. The vendor? I tour around that quickly, I guess, because I'm not playing around with the values like I usually do. But yeah, it's always just been really fascinating for me to be able to see this kind of content, you know, hidden in a video game. And it's definitely not the first of its kind to do it, but it's definitely the most memorable in my opinion. Having an actual level that you can just tour around and look at this information is always really cool. And I definitely admire the hard work that many game developers do. And to kind of include this stuff would have been a cool way to acknowledge their hard work, which is really awesome. I wonder if that's everything. Because there are future museums in this game that definitely have even more content, but I definitely just wanted to show off what's on offer here, because you know it's the first of its kind in the series, and it's very fascinating to me. I also probably could have just sunk time in the infiltrator puzzle, but you know, might be a little bit mundane for chat to watch me do. But I definitely recommend, if you have this game, if you have access to it via PS2, PS3, or the Vita, or by other means, you know, definitely give the Insomniac Museum your own visit, because you could probably play around with the stuff a bit more than what I'm doing here, and you never know, you might surprise yourself. But yeah, Insomniac Games, thank you so much for putting this in there. It's been super cool. It's really cool. I might just quickly head out of here and show chat the other methods of getting here, just so we can round that off and have that option for everybody. But yeah, this is the Insomniac Museum, and I knew that it wasn't going to be as long as the other parts, but I wanted to showcase that it's here because it's such a cool thing. So without further ado, we'll be back here in a bit, but yeah. This has been really awesome. It's always nice to come back here. Right, we're back on Bolden, and I'm definitely gonna show my other method to you guys. I'm going to the other end. Would that be quicker or? Actually, no. So the next method I'll show is a pretty handy method to use if you're playing on a non-PS2 system and you don't have the means to wait till 3 AM or change your clock time. The next method's actually one that I don't see anybody else doing, but it's one that I'd occasionally do when I can't access. Like for example, when I was doing my run on the Vita, I didn't really have access to the normal means of unlocking it. So you ride the power lines here. And then you get hit enough times. Okay, we'll do it next. We'll do it again, trust me. It's just hard for me to do because I'm so used to just trying to do this as a no-hit run. You know what, we'll go a little bit further up the track. Pretty sure you can do it from there, but I just want to show chat this method to anyone who's watching as an alternative. So I found this method to be helpful on the non-PS2 version. Alright, so this normally shouldn't be landable, but you actually can land here because it's actually, I think it's probably got to do with the collision of it being near the regular level and stuff like that, which is cool. I can see a platinum bolt up there. I don't really remember this one, but oh, it's just hiding there. Okay, I might have to check that out sometime. But yeah, we're walking around here when we normally shouldn't be, so take it what you will. You could use this, you know, I think this bit was purely built as just a way to connect the map to keep it stable, but nonetheless it becomes a little bit of an extra part of the planet that you can explore that you shouldn't be able to. But here we are. You do fly past this building here, which sometimes has its textures go missing because again you're not supposed to be able to go here. When you walk here, you actually fall through. And then, because of some camera trickery here, then tap L1 to center your camera. And there you go. And you can hide behind this little block here. And now we're back here. Dealing with these fiends. Although I have like no ammo, but let's just grab another weapon to use against them. Just to show this method off to chat. Oh. Okay, we're dead. But the point of that is that method works. Whilst I didn't show the ending there, if you defeat the thugs, the teleporter will work. Because that allows you to skip the clock method. Because I did the regular method before, but I just wanted to show that to anybody who might be playing this on a console where you can't access editing the clock. So that's one of the methods. I think the other method is pretty similar, but you just go from a different part of the map and then fly down to the thing. Or actually no, it's not flying down. He's using an old glitch method where you go up to another part of the map and then you throw decoys around, and you use similar camera trickery to knock yourself into the wall, or into the window, whatever it is, how you explain it, and then it gets you to that area in another method. But personally, I just use the clock method. It's just, you know, it's not really that hard anyway. You don't have to mess around with the game too much. But yeah, every now and again, when I need to get there in a pinch, I use the method that I just showed with the power lines. So I thought it was worth to show that off. Yeah, so now we have ways to get to the Insomniac Museum, which is really cool. I thought it'd be great to document that. And now people on Twitch and YouTube can enjoy it. That ought to be fine. Alright, that was probably a bit quicker than I thought, but thanks so much for tuning in to the Ratchet & Clank portion of this, as this was the bonus part. We did beat it yesterday, we beat the mutant protopet and all that, and now we had the opportunity to tour around the Insomniac Museum, show you guys how to get there, a couple of methods, and overall just, you know, hear a little bit of what the different developers and programmers had to say about working on the game, which is pretty cool. Very big fan of that. So yeah, I want to thank everybody for watching, whether you tuned in just for this part or whether you've watched all the other parts in this series. It means a lot. As mentioned, these will be archived. You can look at it anytime you want to find out how I did various things in the game. And this won't be the last time I play the game, as I love this series very, very much, and it means a lot to me. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys on another stream or on another video. So thanks again.